YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that instant basketball analysis on Analysis Playground on YouTube, exclusively on there forever, of course. And we're going to talk about how the Sacramento Kings beat the Utah Jazz 116 to 111. The season series is tied 2-2. They don't play each other again into next season because of that, and that's a good thing because they ended up giving us some games that was a little blowoutish, even though they gave us some competitive ones too. The Kings go to 18-51 and 12-23 at home. The Jazz go to 20-48, 8-26 on the road. People are like, why is the Kings winning now? Well, if you're gonna play basketball in the NBA, somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. And this was one of them games where who gonna win it, who gonna lose it? Because one of the teams do have to get it done. Utah, they won the first quarter 28-26. The Kings won the second quarter 28-21. The Jazz ended up winning the third quarter 39-35, but they lost the fourth quarter 27-23. Cody Williams ended up getting a big night. He ended up getting 34, which was actually game high for the Utah Jazz. In 38 minutes, he was hitting his threes. He was driving to the basket. He was getting to the free throw line. He finished 12 of 20 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. So a really good, efficient, dominant night for him. He played good on and off the ball. He also had 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, and 1 block. 1 offensive rebound, 4 personal fouls, and was a -8 and plus minus. They had a lot of guys out in this one, so he had a lot of chances and a lot of opportunities. And they kept giving the ball and putting him in situations that he liked. So it ended up working out real well for him on the offensive end. And I like the fact that he also wasn't keeping the ball moving too. If he didn't have a shot that made sense, or he found somebody that had a better look than he did. Bryce had to start if they was going to win this one. Mainly because, mainly if they wanted to stay in this one, mainly because they didn't really have a guy that can create their own shot off the dribble consistently in this one, probably besides Collier. And he ended up hitting the mid ranges. He ended up getting the drives. He ended up hitting the threes. And Bryce played only 23 minutes and still gave you 22 points, 9 of 17 shooting from the field, 3 of 9 from 3, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers, and a steal, 3 offensive boards, and a personal foul was a -5 and plus minus. He made the game fun. He made the game interesting when he was out there, and that's something that matters when you're trying to have a competitive game. Elijah Harkless, 40 minutes. He ended up getting that and played real well because he had 13 points, went 4 of 10 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. And had 4 assists, a steal, a block, and a rebound, and 2 turnovers. So he did a lot of things on a basketball court when he was out there, and that's why he was rewarded with a lot of minutes. And then it was just about, can he make more shots? He wasn't able to really do that by the end of the game. But, scoring can be that way for guys that don't play much. He did have 3 personal fouls and was a +1 and plus minus there. Collier, he was attacking the basket real well and getting to the rim and finishing. He went and got 21 points in 25 minutes. He went 9 of 21 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He did have 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, are still in the block. He also had 1 personal foul and was a -15 and plus minus. And then Anderson Garcia, he ended up playing 43 minutes. That was the most on the team. But he only gave you 3 points, and he shot 1 of 7 from the field and 1 of 6 from 3. Good looks, good opportunities. He just couldn't get him to go down in this one. And he did have 11 rebounds, which was game high for the Jazz. And then he had 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block. 1 offensive board, 2 personal fouls, and was a -3 and plus minus. So he went out there and gave it his best. He didn't always get the results that he wanted, but he did play hard. Blake Henson, 16 minutes. He had 7 points. He went 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He had the good looks. He had the good opportunities. He was able to make them at least half of the time, and you have to take that. He did have 2 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, and a steal, no personal fouls, and was a +1 and plus minus. Oscar played 23 minutes. He ended up having 9 points. Good high percentage looks, and if he wasn't scoring those, he ended up going 3 of 6 from the free throw line and 3 of 5 from the field for those 9 points. The 9 points was the most off the bench. He took the most shots off the bench too with those 5. He also did get the most rebounds off the bench, which was 8. And then he had 1 assist, no turnover, 3 steals. The 3 steals was the most off the bench. And then he also had 4 offensive boards out of the 8 total that he had. And then no personal fouls and was a +5 and plus minus. And then Bez ended up playing 33 minutes, and then he had 2 points. He made a shot from two, but missed his three. He had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block. And he had 1 offensive rebound, 5 personal fouls, and was a -1 and plus minus. He was the only guy to get 5 personal fouls in this one, and he did play a lot of minutes, probably more than he thought he would. But it was only because he was bringing good energy when he was out on the basketball court, so it makes sense. And then President Chua was really good. Kept getting deep in the paint, even if it was from offensive rebounding, even if it was just because he ran to the paint and they just was able to find him over and over again. He was really good at finishing. He went 10 of 15 from the field, 0 of 2 from three. He did get 20 and 10 because he had 20 points and 11 rebounds in 33 minutes. He did have 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block. 3 offensive rebounds, no personal fouls, and was a +10 and plus minus. Renard Renaud ended up playing 29 minutes. He had 8 points. He got quick finishes around the rim when he could make them. He finished 4 of 8 from the field. He missed his only three. He did get 12 rebounds, but he did miss the double-double. He had 1 assist, 3 turnovers, 1 offensive rebound, 3 personal fouls, and was a +3 and plus minus. DeMar DeRozan was still looking like this peak version the last couple games. 41 tonight, which was one of the biggest reasons why they was able to stay ahead. And was one of the big reasons why they won this game. 11 of 21 shooting from the field, efficient. He went 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, didn't get too hung up on those. And then he was just absolutely a master at getting to the free throw line. 18 of 21 from the free throw line. They could not stop him for getting the shots and doing the things he wanted to do. And then they started giving him more attention. Then he was able to get assists, 11 to be exact, so 41 and 11. That's a really, really good offensive game, especially when he only had 5 turnovers in 38 minutes. He did have 4 rebounds, also 3 steals, 1 offensive board, no personal fouls, was a +16, a plus minus. Killian Hayes had one of his better nights. He had 16 points. He went 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 6 from three, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Just play off the guys and just be ready to score when you get the ball or make a quick shot. And then he ran the offense real good when he had the ball. He made the right plays most of the time. He made good reads, and he had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 2 blocks, 2 personal fouls, and a +9 and plus minus. Nick Clifford just make the good looks when we give you the ball. He had 10 points because of that. He went 4 of 9 from the field, 1 of 5 from three, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He did have 4 boards, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and a steal, but he fouled out. In this one, and he did only have 2 offensive rebounds, which is still good, and was a -3 and plus minus. And then Daquan Plowden, he played 31 minutes. That was the most off the bench. He took the most shots, which was 14. The problem was he went 3 of 14 from the field and 2 of 11 from three. Teams are going to give him that three. You can take that three all day until you prove to us that you're a threat, until you prove to us that you can make them. And he hasn't been making them at a great enough rate or a great enough clip. So teams are going to keep testing them and saying you can have it until you can make us pay for leaving you open. And even then, we might say he might go cold a little bit too, since he's not a shooter and never really has been a great shooter. 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals. The 2 steals was the most off the bench. The 2 assists was tied with Dermott for the most off the bench. He did have the most turnovers with 2 off the bench. He also had 2 offensive rebounds, 5 personal fouls, and was a -8. And plus minus, Dylan Cardwell played 16 minutes. He scored his only basket, but he led them in rebounding off the bench with 7. He had 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 offensive boards, 1 personal foul, was a +5 and plus minus. And then Doug, he wants to launch threes. He took some tough ones. He took some easy ones and finished 3 of 8 from three tonight. Then he had 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal fouls. It was a -7 and plus minus. Both teams shot 48% from the field, 31% from three for the Kings, 33 for the Jazz. 28 free throws for the Kings. They shot 82%. 25 for the Jazz. They shot 68%. They needed some more of those to go down since it was a close game. And on top of that, They got out rebounded by 10, 50-40 by the Kings. And then the Kings got more assists, 28-22. 18 turnovers for the Kings, 15 for the Jazz. 9 steals for the Kings, 12 for the Jazz. 3 blocks for the Kings, 5 for the Jazz. 12 offensive rebounds for the Kings, 10 for the Jazz. 38 defensive rebounds for the Kings, 30 for the Jazz. And then 19 personal fouls for the Kings, 16 for the Jazz. And this is a close game, but the veterans really stepped up for the Kings. Achua really had a good game. They played real well off DeMar DeRozan, and he was able to really dominate and get the shots that he wanted and do what he wanted to the defense as much as he wanted to do it to him. And they could just never find a counter or adjustment that was necessary to be able to get the game to slow down for them to be able to catch up a little bit and be able to get ahead and find a way to get the win, since those opportunities and those chances never really came close to happening. And even when it did, they still was ahead enough where they really didn't feel like they was going to lose. Show you that the Kings, man, just like any other team, if you ain't taking them serious, if you ain't coming to play, you're not playing your hardest, they can beat you anytime. And the Jazz, you can say this is about even when it comes to talent. They had guys step up. They had guys have big games, and they still ended up losing this one. I don't think they care because they feel like they want to get a high pick anyway. The Kings probably said, we want 1-2, but somebody got to win. Somebody got to lose. The Kings been winning. People say, go ahead. We want to take the loss anyway to have a better chance of getting a good lottery pick. So that's something that's true. That's something that is going to be something that's going to continue to happen throughout the rest of this year, since a lot of these teams are already going to be eliminated and they're not going to be playing or playoff teams. They just playing for fun. They're just playing for pride. They're just playing for livelihood. They just playing to show that they still got it and are basically auditioning for the next teams that they might be on. And they still have to play hard. They still have to go play good or great just to prove and show that. So it does make sense for them to try to win games and try to perform as best as they can for their own career and their own, extended longevity possible if they play well or play hard and show other teams what they can bring to the table possibly for their organization too. So it all makes sense even from a business standpoint. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get the analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today, hopefully with more analysis.